If you've been following me for a while, you know that I like to make crochet wigs. It's my go-to protective style and it's easy to make. But what I've started to do differently when I make my crochet wig is I use a knitted Kufi cap. Now, up until a few months ago, I was using this type of cap, but what I had been experiencing is that eventually the threading becomes very loose, I guess because it's so thin, and then holes, bigger holes in the cap starts to form. And if you ever made a crochet wig, you know that it is time consuming. So to put in all that time just for the wig to come undone and make these huge holes in it, I was like, no ma'am, we're going to use this Kufi cap because it's thicker and it actually turned out to be more comfortable. Now, in this video, I'm making a caramel chocolatey wig and I'm using these two different textures of hair. One thing I found over time with making these crochet wigs is mixing two different types of textures of hair looks a lot better, in my opinion, than using one type of texture, and I'll show you why later on in the video. Now, you may be looking at this part of the video and you're wondering, like, how are you connecting these large holes, because those holes are bigger than the ones towards the top of the cap. And trust me when I say it really is not that hard. You just use the hair and the crochet needle to close the hole. It's really simple. If there's anybody who is truly interested in making a crochet wig and they want to use one of these caps, then I can make another video specifically showing how to do this part. You just watch me add all the straighter hair towards the back of the cap. Now I'm adding the coarser hair towards the front. I'm making my wig with a coarser hairline because it looks more realistic when you put it on. And also my actual hair is coarse, so that just feels right to me. And I use the straight braid hair on the middle and back sections of the wig for no other reasons than you can see the curl better once I do curl this wig, and then it's also going to give you that swing that you see human hair wigs have. And for this wig, I'm going to use these strings to make my curls. I have done another video before where I used strings to make string curls, and I just think it makes a really pretty curl. Now, of course, doing this method takes a lot longer to do, but I actually prefer to custom curl my crochet wigs versus just going to the store and buying pre-curled hair. It looks better to me when it's all said and done, and I don't know, it's just therapeutic making things with my hands. Now she's all curled and I'm about to dip her in some hot water. I have learned through many years of experience that if you leave that hair in that hot water too long, it's going to turn an ugly ashy color. So make sure when you dip the hair, you don't do it long so it can stay the color that you want it to stay. Again, let's give it up for the strings. They make such a thick spirally curl. I really love it. I'm going to skip past the part where I cut and shape the wig because I'm sure there's a naysayer wondering how in the world did I cover up this cap. But as you can see, this wig is full. You don't see any holes at the top of this wig or in the back of the wig or even in the front of the wig. I'm really glad that I had this bright idea to use a Kufi cap instead of a wig cap, because I've tried many a wig caps, and if I don't have an issue with it unraveling, then I have an issue with it being too tight. And with the Kufi cap, it's a lot roomier for thicker hair, and also it doesn't have that flat elastic band rubbing against your edges. So this is what the wig looked like when I was finished. I am a sucker for big curly hair, and as you can see, she swings. She's not super stiff like a lot of synthetic hair can be, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, the coarser hair towards the front gives me a more realistic hairline. And that's pretty much all that is. Just wanted to share some of the tips that I've learned since making these crochet wigs.